Donald Trump's team has essentially hijacked the Republican National Committee. I think they would admit that, by the way. His hand-picked co-chairs, loyalist Michael Whatley and his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, now taking the reins, relocating some teams to Palm Beach and laying off dozens of staffers in an effort to have the party controlled by Trump allies and loyalists. Some prominent Republicans are not happy about it, one of whom will join us in a moment. But others think it may actually hurt Trump's re-election bid. New leadership also includes Chris LaCivita, a Trump campaign senior advisor and money man, as the new RNC chief of staff, as well as former news personality for fringe network OAN and former member of Trump's legal team, Christina Bobb, taking over as senior counsel for election integrity. Just as a reminder, here is their new election integrity lawyer less than 24 hours after Biden's 2020 win.
This is a decisive victory for Trump. The fact is that Donald Trump won a second term last night.
And Bob isn't the usual Trump loyalist election denier. She literally wrote the book on it, titled Stealing Your Vote, The Inside Story of the 2020 Election and What It Means for 2024. The RNC will lead the effort to reelect him. But is this bad for a Republican Party which also wants to try to hold the House and take over the Senate? And could these changes end up coming back to haunt Trump himself? Let's ask Al Cardenas. He's the former chairman of the Florida GOP. He's had some harsh words about these changes. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. So why do you think this is a bad idea?
Well, I've given 40 years of my life to building a Republican Party because I believe in its purpose. And its purpose is to recruit candidates, train volunteers, get people out to vote, do all the things that a party is supposed to do. Now, you know, this change may help Donald Trump, may hurt Donald Trump, but for sure it's going to hurt the quality of the candidates we're able to recruit because we're not recruiting. We're not going to help our candidates for the state legislature. We're not going to help our candidates for the Congress. And I think the party as a whole will suffer by this almost forceful takeover. And I'll tell you what, I think we're, in this country, we're in a race to the bottom when it comes to politics. But Dan, it takes all the stakeholders. It takes the politicals. It takes the so-called, political consultants, operatives. It takes the money people. It takes those who are in this to make money. It takes the media. It takes the owners of the media stations who want to create, at any cost, better ratings. It takes the social media owners who want to create traffic. It's almost like a compendium of efforts, some for greed, some for power, very few for patriotism and for love of America, and that's what's happening today.
So just to be clear, you're basically saying you're unsure. Will it help or hurt Trump? You don't know, right? Will it backfire on him? Who knows? But you are saying that you feel confident it's going to hurt the Republican efforts beyond the presidential election?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, and this is because part of, and again, the reason we have you on is because you know what it takes, right? You were the head of the GOP in Florida. You know what it takes to have a successful operation there. This is not just about loyalty. It's about an operation. It's about pros who know how to do what they do. And as you point out, recruiting the right candidates who can actually win.
Dan, even in the presidential election, look, there's always a healthy tension between the party structure and the presidential campaign. It's true to come together. It's true they're supposed to coordinate efforts to the extent that they legally can, but those tensions are important. You know, the presidential race wants to take too much of the money, too much of the power. The party pushes back and says, hey, wait a minute, we got a lot of people down ballot. Our job is to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Without that tension, the guys who put in, a mortgage on their house to run for the state house, good luck, buddy. The state party's not going to help you. The people who are running for the school board, good luck. They're not volunteers to recruit and get people out to vote for you. There's nothing like a state party or a local party to do the things that only a party can do. And Donald Trump's people couldn't care less about any of that. They care about one thing, and that's the cult of Donald Trump. And incidentally, while I've got the opportunity, there's a big difference between a cult and the efforts like Ronald Reagan took. Those efforts involved the momentum of a movement that was conservative, a movement that relied on solid principles and lasted for decades. The Trump cult's all about one guy. And the reason why I'm staying in the party and optimistic is that if that one guy is gone, the cult is gone, because nobody's going to replace him. And I think that he's got a short-term window to do whatever it is he's going to do. Hopefully not in 4 more years, but even if he does, that's it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.